Welcome back. You know, right now, more than 100,000 people are waiting for life-saving organ transplants. Many more are waiting for tissue donations. April is National Donate Life Month, a time to celebrate those who have given and received the gift of life and to encourage more Hoosiers to sign up as donors. And Stephanie Crute is here this morning. She's not only a registered nurse, but she's also a kidney and a liver donor. And Corinne Ozinski-Carey is here from Indiana Donor Network to talk about this very important month. And a lot of people, I wanted to clarify too, a lot of people may not even be aware that you can give a portion of your liver as a living donor, right?
Correct. They take either the left or the right lobe, depending on the size of the recipient. An infant and adult will determine which lobe they take.
So you've donated a kidney and part of a liver to two different recipients, literally helping to save two lives in that process.
Yes, both the women who received, I didn't know them, but they were both suffering from diseases that their mothers suffered and died from. So as a result, they're able to live a much longer life and have more time with their children.
Wow, and a registered nurse in addition to. I mean, wow, what a plenty of lives that you've saved out there. Corinne, I know this month is very important, and the need is always there for donors and people to sign up either as living donors or, you know, after they pass away themselves.
Absolutely. There's about 100,000 Americans waiting for a transplant right now. 1,000 of them are Hoosiers themselves, so that need is great. That list grows. About every 10 minutes a new person is added to that wait list, so that need is always there, and the month of April gives us a really good time to kind of shine the light on that need and just raise awareness, not only about the need for donation, but about donor heroes that step up and donate when they're alive. It's
pretty incredible. Most people automatically think of, you know, heart, liver, you know, organs and things like that, but there are a lot of different things, even tissues that people can donate as well.
Absolutely. Tissue donation impacts a lot of people every year. Skin for skin grafts for burn patients, corneas to help someone see again, heart valves that can help pediatric patients. So really important for people to consider not only organ donation as an option, but tissue donation as well.
I'm curious too about what led to your decision. You know, what was your motivation behind making these two very, very big decisions?
It started back when I was 20 and my sister had kidney stones, and I said, well, I'll give you a kidney if you ever need one. That didn't happen. Then my mom was a bone marrow recipient from her sister, which allowed us to have another 14 years with her. Indiana Donor Network came and talked when I was a nurse during nursing school, but that is a terrible time to try to be a donor. And then ultimately I watched a Grey's Anatomy episode one day in January of 2019, and it was a 6-person domino transplant paired. And I said, okay, now's the time, it's a good time. So I researched and then contacted the Indiana University Health Hospital where they do that transplant. And then on September 11th of 2019, I donated my kidney, and it went to a woman in New York.
And then the portion of your liver was also to a different recipient, right?
Correct. It went to a woman. I completely went non-directed, and it went to a woman here in Indiana.
Wow. I mean, everyone has their own reason or their own story. It's a very personal decision for someone, even if it's just when you're renewing your driver's license, to check that box. Or, I mean, is there a need that stands out as most immediately crucial right now?
The kidney transplant list especially is long. There's about 90,000 people, I believe, in the United States waiting for kidneys, so vast majority of people, and luckily we know that we can give that when we're alive. More people being aware of the ability to do that would really help us to get that number lower and hopefully give some more people hope and get them off dialysis and living life.
Yeah, back to something a lot more like normal that a lot of folks enjoy. Do you have things going on this month that people can, I mean, I know you do, but you know, that people can check out now and start looking into?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a ton of information on our website, donatelifeindiana.org, but we will be out at Cabela's with a really, really big family-friendly event next weekend on Saturday. So just being able to kind of share facts about donation, have conversations with people, let them know that, you know, there are people out there that are impacted by this, their neighbors, their friends. So we'd like people to come out and check that out if they could.
Every one of those cases has just a really interesting story behind it. So cool,
Absolutely.
like your own. Thank you both for coming in today and what you've done and what you're doing, and I really appreciate it. We're going to link up all that information for you at our website, fox59.com, to make it easy for you, so something that you can check out and make a potentially life-saving decision. Up next here in Indianapolis, Playwright is putting